All right, welcome back to My Mom's Basement. It is Robbie Fox and Dana White. We are here for UFC 268. You're coming right from Abu Dhabi, right from UFC 267. An amazing show, amazing card. I'm sure that went well.
Thank you. It was awesome. It was listen, I love that place. So I had a blast out there. The card was amazing, and it couldn't have gone better.
We talk a lot, this is not MMA related, but about Rage Against the Machine in our interviews. Did you know today is actually the anniversary of their first album coming out, the 29th anniversary?
Yeah, I thought it was yesterday, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember where you were in 1992?
Oh, God, no. In 99, where was I?
92.
92. I was in Boston, but...
Working the factory job at that point?
I don't know if I was into Rage yet. I wasn't into Rage
Do you remember like getting into them?
I do. I started to hear some of their stuff, and it's impossible to hear Rage and not love it, you know? But I wasn't like buying the first album. I caught on to them later.
Yeah. And how many times have you seen them at this point?
I've seen them a few times. Actually, I saw them when they opened for U2 too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they opened for U2, and I saw them when they opened for U2. Yeah.
Massive card, though. MSG, we got this weekend. I can't wait for it. 268, 2 title fights, 2 rematches. The main event, super grudge match. The co-main event, less of a grudge match, but another great matchup there. And then the co-main event is just
the co-main event's definitely a grudge match, but those two just don't have that type of personality. You know what I mean? It's, they're both going in and both want to win.
Yeah.
And but they just don't have the personality like the main event.
And this card is loaded with prospects and New Yorkers. When I say New York fighter, who's the first person that comes to mind for you?
Jesus Christ, I don't even know. When you say New York fighter, fucking threw a curveball on me with that one. I don't know. You tell me.
Matt Serra?
Okay.
I mean, Chris Weidman.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about on the card.
No, I'm just saying.
Alan Quinta?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like who embodies the New York spirit the most? Hey, I'm walking
here,
motherfucker.
I misunderstood the question.
I
misunderstood the question.
Probably got to be Matt Serra in that case, right?
Yeah. I mean, Matt Serra is obviously very close to me, and yeah.
He's an absolute lunatic. I love him for it. Do you have a favorite spot? We were just talking before we went off the air about Potbelly, but I was going to say, do you have a favorite spot in New York that you got to hit every time you got to come here?
Yeah, so there's a place called Scalinatella. It's an Italian restaurant that I've been going to for years.
Fancy place. Hard to get a reservation?
It's my spot. It used to be. I don't know if it is these days. I don't know how this will be my first time back since before the pandemic.
Oh, nice.
So
I
will be going there.
What's the spot? What's the meal?
Everything. You can't go wrong with this place. Their pasta is off the charts. Whether you get the ravioli tastes like candy.
Oh wow!
Yeah, their fettuccine alfredo is the best I've ever had. Their caprese is incredible. You can't go wrong in this place. No matter what you order, it's incredible.
Wow, amazing. Another thing on the card that I'm looking forward to, Ian Gary's UFC debut. This is a prospect that I've been following through his career in Cage Warriors and all that. What do you know about Ian Gary from you signing him and all that?
Well, I don't know anything about these guys till they come here. When they get in here and they fight in the UFC, more than just the level of competition, the pressure, not to mention the fact, kids like him and CJ Vergara, they get into the UFC their first time and they're fighting in Madison Square Garden. Yeah. So it's all just a different level of pressure and nerves and lots of other things that guys like you and I would never even understand. So
never.
I look forward to seeing how they deal with all that stuff too.
Yeah, and the fight that I saw you point out on your If You Don't Know, Now You Know was Shane Burgos versus Billy Corantillo. I think this has like fight of the night written all over it on a card with amazing fights. What do you think about that?
I agree with you. I mean, it's one of the most exciting fights on the card, but it's hard to pick anything over Gaethje and Chandler. I just think that Gaethje and Chandler is it's impossible for that fight not only to not suck, but not to just be insane.
Fireworks. Yeah, is it hard to like make a main card on a fight like this where the prelims can basically be like on the, a lot of the prelims can be on the main card? Is it hard to select which fights go there? Are you very involved in that?
I mean, that's what we do every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we get together and we build these cards. But that's our goal. Our goal is to build cards that blow people's minds. And even if you're maybe you only know the top 3 fights on the card. When you get there, everybody gets there early, everybody watches early, and our job is to blow your mind with some of these fights that are going to happen, on the prelims.
Is this card going to be stacked with celebrities in the crowd as normal for MSG?
Yeah, there's a lot of celebs coming. That kid Jai Courtney is coming. A-Rod's coming. Halle Berry. A lot of rock stars from the business world. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Is that Soup Man guy coming?
Who?
The guy Soup Man from HBO? Broke up, Call Her Daddy?
Soup Man. I don't think he's coming.
All right, good.
But if he was in town and wanted to go, I'd bring him.
Nah, fuck
I'd
him.
sit him right next to you. Put him right in the media section.
I would love that.
I would love that too.
That would be.
I'm gonna make that happen
You get
someday.
Hasbulla Abdu Rozak 2.0 in the crowd between us. Speaking of Hasbulla,
I want to see you get into fight mode, man.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
I love it.
Hasbulla last weekend took over the show.
So I'm going to tell you something. So the picture, no, not the picture, the video that he sent. Dana White, I'm coming to Abu Dhabi UFC.
I love he said Dana White. I love the way he said it.
So when I posted that with me on the plane saying I'm coming, it's the biggest post that I've ever posted. It's fucking crazy.
The last time we did an interview, you were fucking with me and you were like, I got a meeting with him. At that point, you were like, I'm just fucking with you. And I was like, oh, that might be the biggest news of this interview. And you're like, you come on. Now you got to believe me.
I'm a believer.
That was some big
Listen.
news. Did he blow you away in terms of like the reaction online?
I have 6.7 million followers on Instagram. 6.4 million people watched that video.
Holy shit.
Is that fucking crazy?
It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
This guy takes over the world. How did the meeting go?
It's amazing. Incredible. It was incredible.
I
love the kid.
Is there more than a 0% chance that he fights in the UFC?
Is there more than a 0% chance? Yes.
Wow. That's big news. People are going to run with that. I want to see Hasbulla versus Abdi Rozak in the octagon. And I had Billy Corantillo and Matt Frevola in here yesterday. I asked them, I said, as fighters, would that be like, oh my God, that's awesome? Or would you be like, what the hell? This is what we worked for. They were all for it. They were like, no, we want everything Hasbulla going forward.
Mark Wahlberg FaceTimed me yesterday to tell me,
That's pretty awesome.
Could I get his daughter to meet Hasbulla?
What'd you say?
Yeah, if he comes into the United States, I'll get her to meet him.
Oh my God! Can you get
About
me to
that?
meet Hasbulla
And
if he comes to the United States? I'll fly anywhere.
Well, it's not like Mark Wahlberg's daughter is like a huge MMA fan or something.
Probably
you know
not,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
it's fascinating.
This guy's a global superstar.
Fascinating.
Global superstar. Speaking of superstars, Patty the Batty has signed with Barstool Sports as a brand ambassador, content creator, 7-figure deal. What do you think about that?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love it. I love, first of all, I love the investment in the sport by Barstool, and good for Patty. He's a good kid, and I love it. Yeah.
Are you afraid if Dave starts signing more UFC fighters as brand ambassadors that he's trying to poach, maybe you sign me as a UFC fighter?
I like it. Yeah, exactly.
I'd trade for a trade
exactly.
like that.
I might have to. Yeah.
All right, we might have to do that.
Have
then.
a little payback here.
Yeah. Contender Series wrapped up last night. This season of the Contender Series. What are your thoughts on the season overall? Was it your favorite?
I don't know if it was my favorite. I mean, season 1 was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But it's my favorite thing to do on a Tuesday. I can tell you that. I could do that every Tuesday for the rest of my life. Fights are incredible. Last night was a little weird, but...
the double nut shot last night.
Yeah.
How about that? You ever see that before?
Never. You?
Double nut shot. No. I've seen like the double knockdown. That's always awesome.
Yeah.
Double nut shot when the two guys are both writhing
It's
on
like
the floor.
something out of a
holding their nuts. It
fucking
was hysterical.
Saturday Night Live comedy skit.
And then the ending of that fight was crazy too.
Yeah.
The crazy kick. Another thing about Hasbulla that I forgot to mention, I saw him run around punching everybody. Punched DC, punched it. What would you do if Hasbulla punched you? Would you just take it and laugh? You would have to, right?
Oh, yeah. What am I going to do? Whoop his ass?
I don't know.
Yeah. You could tell when he punched Big Nog on the second.
No, he wasn't. He gave him an elbow.
He was
I think.
shocked.
I think
Yeah.
he elbowed him in the face. He was like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was very funny. Contender Series question. Would you ever bring back something like the Snoopcast? I loved the Snoopcast. And I'm not even in Snoop in particular, but something like that.
I don't know. You know, Snoop and I had talked for a long time about working together and doing something together. And I was literally just getting ready to start putting together the concept for the Contender Series. And we were at a party together. And
Whose party? What was that party like?
it was a fun party. And it was at Ari Emanuel's house. Ari threw a party, and it was at his house. And that night we ended up doing the deal for the Contender, yeah.
Just got the idea?
I said, I got a show that I'm working on right now, and I'll integrate you into the show. So we did the deal that night at the party.
Is the series with 50 Cent made any headway since we last spoke?
The what?
You said we had a series with 50 Cent.
He had 50 bailed.
Whoa, 50 bailed.
Yeah, he bailed. He's out.
Damn, you're a Ja Rule
so
guy now?
It's me and Lorenzo Fertitta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any more info on that show yet or no?
Not yet.
All right,
it's coming though.
Congrats on the dual citizenship in
Thank
Abu
you.
Dhabi. Are you going to be like spending more time over there even when there's no fights?
That's a long flight to be hanging out with no flight.
Long ass flight. I couldn't believe it.
You know
My
what?
way back, by the way, on the UFC charter, I was a middle seat. Someone spilled their fucking drink on my sock.
What?
Someone spilled their drink on my sock. They fell asleep, spilled the drink on my sock. You know how bad a wet sock is on an 18-hour flight?
Oh my God. Was that on the UFC?
Yeah.
Flight? So wait a minute. You were on the UFC charter plane, and somebody fell asleep next to me. Who was it?
I think it was someone's coach. He was like a big guy, so like I couldn't.
Oh, it was
say
a coach?
anything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'd have got your ass kicked.
Yeah.
All right.
Would have been like Hasbulla trying to slap somebody.
Yeah.
I went into the bathroom and tried to dry the sock off. I couldn't even do it. Yeah, it's a long flight. It's bad stuff.
Oh, that's brutal.
They're still hooking you up when you go over there with the big candy bar and stuff.
Well, we stayed at a different hotel this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was at the W.
Yeah.
When
you gotten a place there
when we
yet,
had
or
the
no?
bubble. No, not yet.
Are you still looking for a place? Yeah.
I'm probably going to go back there again in this winter. I'm going to go over there for a few days because I have to go back and finish this deal that I've been talking about working on, and then I'm thinking about going over to the Maldives for a few days. So I'm probably going to.
That's some rich guy shit.
Go spend some time over there.
Thinking
this
about
winter.
going to the Maldives. When someone says that, you got some money, yeah. Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev. I know this is a big topic of discussion because you said we'll talk about it. A lot of people online are saying, oh my God, you're feeding Nate Diaz to the wolves, the last fight of his contract, stuff like this. Nate actually posted an Instagram story about it in response to you. He tagged you in it. Did you see that?
No. What did he say?
He said you're tripping. He said that ain't happening.
Well, that fight was offered to him before this weekend.
To Nate?
Yeah.
Well, I asked you,
it's not like this.
Last interview,
It's not like this
about
just
Luque.
popped up out of thin air, this fight was offered to him before this weekend. This didn't just happen this weekend, and then the fight was offered to him.
How do you feel?
But
like
I usually
the people
don't talk
saying,
about
like,
that. I usually
thrown
don't talk
to the
about that
wolves,
shit publicly.
Like when people say that stuff.
Everybody's thrown to the wolves. I mean, what was I just talking about last night with the kid that said, "Hey, listen, I came in here and fought a tough veteran." I said, "Hey, kid, everybody here is tough. You think these guys are tough? Wait till you get to the UFC."
That, yeah.
Exactly. And listen. This isn't a diss. I love Nate Diaz. I love, Nick and Nate as much as anybody else does. You get to a point, all of us, in life and in your professional career in sports, where you get, to a point where it's like, can I hang here anymore? Can I hang here anymore?
You think Nate's at that point?
I don't know.
I feel like there's matchups out there for him that maybe are less daunting than this one, and I see what people are saying.
Is that what we're looking
for?
Point. So is that what are we looking for less daunting fights in the UFC? Is that what we're looking to do?
I guess not.
Yeah, that's just all bullshit. That's
Chael
all
Sonnen,
bullshit, brother.
Chael Sonnen said this week that he thinks Chimaev could be one fight away from a title shot. Do you think that's true?
I don't know. Listen, he's looked incredible. He's been blowing the doors off people. When you start to break into the top 5, top 10.
Like if he goes through one of those guys like a buzzsaw.
But you're running into some real guys.
Yeah.
And that division is a nasty division.
Yeah, it
so
is.
We will find out.
We will. And finally, have you heard from Conor lately?
That's the other thing I wanted to say. I talked to Conor yesterday. But the other thing that I wanted to say, it's like, everybody's like, you're throwing him to the wolves. The guy's had 4 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
The guy's had 4 fights in the UFC.
They're saying the only reason you're giving it to him is because it's the last fight on his contract. They're saying you want to devalue him.
Devalue him. Because it's the last fight on his contract.
That's what the online chatter's saying.
Does everybody know he just lost his last fight?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know if they knew that, yeah.
By the end of that fight, though,
How are you going to devalue? How are you going to devalue him?
It's funny because Nate Diaz is a fighter who, like his last fight showed, he could lose a fight and not be devalued.
What if he loses?
His stock might have went up after the Leon Edwards
with
fight.
somebody else we match him up with?
Yeah.
Would he be devalued?
I guess so.
How does Khamzat Chimaev devalue him?
Yeah.
You know how massive that fight. Value is about being in massive fights that people care about. Fights that when you make a fight and you announce it, there's this buzz about the fight and everybody's going crazy. Do you think that Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev is not that fight?
No, I think it is. More than...
Okay. So here's the moral of the story. All these people are fucking morons and have no idea what they're talking about. I actually run the biggest fucking combat sports business on planet fucking Earth. So shut the fuck up and let me do my job.
That's a fair
How
point.
about that?
That's a fair point.
Thank you.
Conor, you heard from him yesterday. What was that conversation like?
We were just talking about how he's feeling and how he's doing. He said his workouts are going good, you know. He's trying not to put too much torque on the leg right now. He's making sure he takes his time and lets that thing heal the right way. And he said he is fucking starving. He's starving. He's hungry. He can't wait to come back.
Wow, you know about this wheelchair boxing match he's doing for charity?
Did not know it.
Yeah, next month he's going to be doing a boxing match in a wheelchair against an impersonator who does a Conor McGregor impression, who he says his impression stinks, so he wants to fight him. He'll also be in a wheelchair.
I know the guy he's talking about.
Yep.
Because he tells me he does not like that guy.
Yeah. So they're going to be fighting in a boxing ring in wheelchairs.
Ends very badly for the other kid in the wheelchair.
It does, but you know what I'm very curious about? Like, can you just wheel away from him? If you could wheel away from him fast enough, can you avoid the big shots?
For his sake, I certainly hope so.
Would you ever do a charity boxing match? I know that it's been talked about through the years.
Listen, me and Tito, we're going to do that thing. I was 37, 38 years old.
Would have kicked his ass.
Thank you. I'm done. I'm
You're done, even if what if Ravel came out of the clouds and challenged you?
Well, that's not really a fight. I mean,
you wouldn't take that
it's
opportunity.
like smacking a kid around or something.
Sean Strickland says that crazy shit about I want to legally murder someone in there. You wouldn't take that opportunity.
No, there's nobody I want to really I don't even want to legally murder. I don't know who. Nobody. Ravel's an asshole. He's an idiot, but I don't know if I want to murder the guy.
Yeah, no.
You know?
No,
he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
There's plenty of douchebags around. You know.
Plenty of them. All right. That's it. That's all I got for you. I'm looking forward to UFC 268 this weekend. I will be there in attendance. I hope to see an announcement. Hasbulla has signed to the UFC.
I love it.
Thanks, Dan.
Good to see you.